Is it the mustache? Who knows?
But I mean, I also know my deck runs, like I said, 3 more freezes, 2 more vengeances, 2 more entombs that I can also tutor with on treats. And even if I don't find them, my opponent at least needs to think about me having them. So I can kind of, yeah. I'm still not sure if the flash freeze was good though. Might have been a mistake. Alright, Ezreal Draven Overwhelm. This game was super interesting in the end. So opponent has a much faster opening this time. This is probably the best culling strike I'll get all game because my opponent plays Shaped Stones. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously. This is a no-brainer.
Also, I'm playing a bit speedy here. I'm not used to it. So I just remembered that I ended up with less time on my time bank than my opponent. And if I recall correctly, whoever has the most accumulated minus time in the end loses by default. And therefore, yeah, I'm kind of, every now and then I'm blitzing out moves.
Why not open pass?
Where? Here instead of House Spider?
Yeah.
I thought about it for a second. But then I thought, if I ever want to play Sentry next turn, I don't have enough unit mana for development.
Why? You just beam here if he plays Trapper. Next turn if he plays Renekton you can Sentry. And then you can, on your open attack, you can beam his Renekton for 4 mana.
Yeah, it's a play. I think I wanted to keep beam for a higher value target. I think that was the idea.
Okay.
I will say though, Ezreal Draven was a literal last minute call. Like I decided to play that deck yesterday at 11 PM or something. And I'm also very rusty on it.
Pass here. You just let your opponent play Renekton now. You always keep mana for the beam here for Renekton.
How good is the Renekton for my opponent really? Because if he swings I can beam him still. And he doesn't have mana for Exhaust or Troll Chant. And if he doesn't swing, it's just a Renekton sitting there.
I mean, it's still pushing the damage. It's about the damage, like, because this matchup goes just when he has Battle Fury and he just finishes you off. This matchup is about saving HP on the every corner. Look at your hand. Like, you have very low value hand. You should be preserving, like, you should be taking every pass you can. Like, Ramash is not good. Get Excited is not good. You have no, like, you top deck poorly. Like, DrrWarya is not great. Here you are looking for the center on the Ruin Runner, right? And into beam.
Yeah. Let me skip forward. I think my opponent tanked for a second. Ended the round, which I'm pretty happy about. Yeah, because I didn't have great development anyway. So still no proper... Oh, I should also mention I play 2 Calling Strikes and triple Static Shock in this list, by the way. That's one of the reasons why I blocked the Trapper with E2-2 instead of a 1-1. Of course, 5-5 looks scary at first sight, but as long as it doesn't have an Overwhelm tag, I don't care about it too much, because I do have a board full of jump blockers.
Yeah, passing probably correct. Now here you play Ruin Runner. Yep.
Yeah, this Ruin Runner being a 7-5 is a bit annoying. I can't represent the clean block with a Sump Dredger. But I'm generally looking for a Static Shock on the 3-1 and the 7-5, I believe, to ping the Spell Shield. And I can always chump block the 5-5 Yeti, and if I ever need to, like, it's a perfect flock target, but I'm generally saving my removal for overwhelms, right? The 5-5 can just get chump blocked for into Oblivion.
I think... Yeah, I think you just do the Static Shock here into the beam.
I can see Static into beam, and you would just tank the full 7?
Yeah.
Okay, but keep in mind our opponent plays triple Troll Chant and triple Shaped Stone, right?
I mean, you can finish it off later, like if you need to.
Yeah.
He would play it after the combat, which is really ineffective. It's just 2 mana, give 2 HP.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see it. This was a tough turn, because I didn't have any additional finishing removal in hand outside of Get Excited, which I don't want to use because I don't have a discard target. I ended up playing some Dredger to already tag down the Rune Runner, and also, of course, to get the cycling going. What do you discard?
Ramash.
Yeah, okay. I agreed.
No for Ramash, so...
Yep. And I do find the Flock, which, of course, makes the removal much more effective. Okay, my opponent locks in this attack. And I set up blockers, and I'm not quite sure at this point whether to block the Rune Runner with a Sump Dredger or the 2-2. Because again, if I block with a 2-2, I play Ravenous Flock, my opponent can Troll Chant out of range. And I guess I save 1 more HP this way. While, like, just after locking it in, I also realized I should have swapped the 1-1 Spider on the right with a 2-2. Because right now my opponent gets a pretty good Troll Chant.
Yeah.
And if I Phantom block with the 2-2, the Trapper is not surviving.
I don't think he Troll Chants ever. He doesn't Troll Chant Trapper. I think it's a good bait. Noob trap. You like the correct play is to Troll Chant to the Windrunner, so it's not damaged next turn.
Yeah, I guess it might have been like accidental bait basically. But yeah, my opponent found the line that you were talking about actually. Troll Chant, Ruin Runner, Sump Dredger.
Yeah, he's playing very well.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, my opponent played pretty solidly. Actually, props to him. At this point, I think... Wait, I don't quite remember how big the Thermal Beam is. The Tri-Beam, we'll see in a second.
3.
3. Alright, what do you think? Any play you see? What do you think about this one?
I would think longer, definitely.
Fair. I guess my thought process is like, of course, I try to go for the Flock. I just can't really
go
open...
for block here this turn. Yeah.
So I can't ever really open pass because swing Battle Fury is way too scary.
No, you never open. You can't pass.
Yeah, so it's my most effective way of tagging it.
Yeah, you have a okay board. Like you have Pharaon. You don't have to rush anything. Yeah, you just wait for him to develop a bit. Like if he plays Wild Claw, you have 6 mana try a beam, which is perfect. If he plays the Renekton, you have the tribe. No, that's 3 mana, so you can still play the. You just beam anything that's cost 4 or more mana.
Yeah. So Sejuani, Wild Claw, Renekton, Ancient Yeti, we're all fine against. Of course, our top priority is still to either get Overwhelms off of the board or at least try to damage them to represent Ravenous Flocks or Scorched Earth or Guillotine.
Yeah, agree. So
I think my opponent was, yeah, this I will say I can't agree with. And I don't really know my opponent's exact hand state. Maybe with a very bricked hand, if you don't hold a single unit, I can kind of see it. I mean,
that means he has second Battle Fury.
True, but like me with 6 mana not having removal for a damage 3 HP unit is omega unlikely, right? But I guess if you don't...
Yeah, if it's bricked, you have to do this. Like if you have, like, say, if your hand is like just like, let's say, Shapestone, Exhaust, and another Battle Fury, what do you do?
So yeah, I'm contemplating here if I go like Sentry the Yeti and for a 3 mana beam, build up the Tri-Beam further.
No, this is fine.
Yeah, unfortunately this is a shitty roll. We're happy about any block.
I wouldn't mind this, like you have Pharaon, like you're happy about pushing 5.
Yeah, true. So
you have,
here,
like, you're...
Yeah, I just say... basically, my opponent's play last turn should have told me he probably doesn't hold a unit, but I was not... I'd say right away, like, I didn't...
Just jumps Surge here and pushes 4 damage.
Oh, you mean you wouldn't have played Farron here?
I don't know. I would thought about it longer.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, what's the worst that could have happened to you? Sedge, right? Push 4 damage, so you're at 11. Do you care? No. So you just I would play Farron. So that's all. Like, that's the only question you need to ask yourself. How much? Like, what's the worst thing that can happen this turn? It's just Sedge. Maybe Renekton into exhaust. It's like 1 more damage.
Yeah, but it would probably have to be a top deck Sejuani as well, right? Because we kind of thought opponent didn't have more units last round.
Yep.
But yeah, here I'm
but
already.
He played
Sorry,
I'm cards, so.
Yes, yeah, but I think one of the cards around was Preservarium, and that drew the other card. Yeah.
You know what he has in hand. He has Shapestone here, obviously. He's just baiting you to block with Farron.
Yeah, I'm never blocking.
Why Spider? Why not 2/2 and Beam? This was perfect Beam turn.
I guess my idea was still to hold Beam for overwhelms, because I feel like as long as my opponent doesn't get too many overwhelms on the board, I can't really lose.
I mean, you just kill him.
Yeah, this is...
He's just dead. Like, you attack, like, if you threaten here the Yeti, he plays, like, say, Shaped Stone. Next, like, this Yeti will be damaged. He's taking more damage. Next turn, you smork him with the Farron. So let's say Yeti is at 1 HP here, right? You attack in, your Farron connects for 7, he's at HP. You have lethal by decimating his face once, and then you set up lethal with the Get Excited and Mystic Shot. Because you still have 5/4 and 2/2 attacking, which are good into the opponent's board.
Yeah, I generally I agree. So we counted out that we have 13 damage in hand, right? The issue with just smorking with Farron is that we kind of have a soft read that our opponent probably holds 4 combat tricks in hand. Right?
Yeah, but because why not make him waste like Shapestone, let's say?
Yeah, that's fair.
Like for 1 HP, like it's a 1 mana, give you 1 HP.
Yeah, that is very fair. My issue is if I swing with like if I open attack here, my opponent has something like Fury plus Troll Chant. I lose Farron. You don't open.
You play Sentry next turn.
Yeah, that's
why I wanted to kill. That's why I wanted to kill the Yeti, so he has less blockers.
Yeah, that's actually a fair... Yeah, that's a good point. I can see that play.
And next turn, it's a Decimate plus Sentry. And then on defense, if you need to, you have a Mystic Shot plus Get Excited to finish him off. And it's game.
Well, yeah, but I'm not expecting to push the full 4 damage with... Or, like, a lot of damage because, right, I think my opponent has a bunch of combat tricks in hand. And with 9 mana, I can play just about everything.
I mean, I would expect Shaped Stone and Battle Fury in my opponent's hand now. Based on how he played.
Why not Troll Chant?
Could be Troll Chant, but that would be third card. Like, I know that he has Battle Fury and Shaped Stone. Do you expect third one to be precisely Troll Chant? You could have a read on basically all 3 cards. Like, you must be certain about Battle Fury and Shaped.
But yeah, this kind of... Yeah, that cucks me like super hard. So now I am realizing even if I develop DrrWarya, I'm not pushing any damage through. Which means I don't have Decimate, and Burn Lethal anymore. And
right,
I also... Sorry,
I mean, you know, opponent has the, like, let's say, the Troll Chant, Shaped Stone, and Battle Fury. Yep. So let's say he has no, like, let's assume he has no exhaust, but he might have exhaust as well instead of like Troll Chant. Yeah, definitely attack with this. I mean, he's blocking with 1/1 always.
Yeah, but you have a good point. Like, for example, if I would have thermoed the Yeti last turn, he may have been tempted to block with something else. Because I don't quite recall, but my Ezreal might be leveled at this point. He might be careful with me with that much mana up. Although I'd probably play Ezreal before swinging. But yeah, here I'm also kind of happy to have the Thermo Beam because I can at least get rid of one of the overwhelms. I go for highest defense and highest attack. Like, Troll Chant plus Shapestone specifically would save Sejuani. will say that I did not do maths quick enough.
If it's correct. I was thinking about get excited and the beam to remove 2 units.
Get excited.
But again, it's weak to shape. Like if you have a read on the shaped stone, so it would be incorrect probably because it would save the unit, and you pay two cards for 1. So you have to assume your opponent has 11 reach on the overwhelm now.
And potentially even 14 with your original read, if it's Battle Fury, Shaped Stone.
I mean, that would be 2 Shaped Stone. I don't think he has 2. I think he has 1 and Battle Fury from the right side. But he drew just 2 cards that could be like anything, so it gets a bit worse.
Okay, and this is a super interesting one.
Why? You just pass if he does an attack like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just pass and you win. Easy game. This is instant pass.
Yeah, I missed the pass. I will say. I roped full time and I panic blocked.
You just didn't play the matchup enough.
No,
like whenever they do this and they don't threaten lethal, this is a big mistake. You always commit Battle Fury here.
Yeah, I agree. I realized it right afterwards as well. This is like where the lack of experience comes in. Like I think picking Draven Ezreal ended up being a solid pick into the decks I faced, but just me not being super experienced on the deck means I did not perform as well as I could have. So it's always like this type of payoff when choosing tournament decks, like comfort picks and what you expect to be good into the field. But yeah, long rope, because I think I did realize I only lose to Battle Fury plus double Shaped Stone. It's realistic for our opponent to have it. The reason why I did end up blocking was that if I let this go through, what do you do if you let this go through actually? How do you continue?
I start with Dredger.
Discard Flock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. Was the other line I was contemplating.
Oh, that's you never waste a flock here. I mean, you know that opponent has Shaped Stone and Battle Fury. Blocking the 4-2, the 3-2 is foolish. You don't do it. You just block the Yeti with 3-2 and you block with the 2-2 the 4-2.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like you literally knew that he has those 2 cards.
And here's the top deck third.
I mean, he just grieved by not like he literally threw the game because you could have won easily. Why would you not pre-commit there?
Yeah, I don't get not pre-committing one Shaped Stone at least. Yeah.
Like he played really well overall, but you always commit one Shaped Stone there.
Yeah. I guess I guess the reason is if I block the buffed unit with Farron.
Till he has Lethal, no? Like
no, I actually think it's not Lethal.
16.
Because it's 3 less damage coming in and I was at -1 in the end. Right? Say the Shapestone is on Renekton, I of course put Farron in front of Renekton. And then the other card just hits me for 15 instead of 18.
But again, like in this spot you just always pass and like he loses the game.
Yeah.
So that's like like he had to go for it.
Yeah, I agree in hindsight.
I guess like it ended up winning him. Both like this is another volleyball match.
A bit, yeah. My thought process was like in case my opponent top decked more units, again, if my opponent has Battle Fury defensively, I also don't push damage on Farron.
I mean, you are not playing with your whole deck, Lobster. You are 2 of lethal. You realize that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, in hindsight,
and he needs to play Battle Fury. He needs to play Battle Fury on defense.
And not pushing damage, yeah.
And then you can finish it off with you need to get excited, the unit that he used to block. If you need to. And then he's not pushing the damage.
I guess I was just hesitant because if I don't finish the game on my next attack, of course, say he Battle Fury blocks or Troll Chant blocks even, my next is on 2 HP, I barely have a board anymore, and on my opponent's next swing, if he finds an Overwhelm, I can't die, but I do agree I was just too scared. Like I said, I kind of just panic blocked here. My first instinct was also like, I checked the eye, 2 HP, my opponent doesn't run burn, I can let this go through, and then I was like, but what if? Definitely a mistake.
Like the fact that you had Dredger should make you even more feel safe because you can just like you are drawing 2 cards. You can draw another playable card. If you don't draw a playable card, you just decimate. Like you had such a good turn afterwards.
Yeah, I can find a unit. I can even find leveled Ezreal. Yeah, it would have been just better.
Ezreal was very likely at this point. You can draw into a leveled Ezreal. You can draw Static Shock into Ezreal. Like Draven was likely, double Draven was a possibility. Double Draven was lethal as well because you can use the second Draven to push the damage with Pharon.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Like